Today's episode is brought to you by the 2011 Marketing and Money Making Super Conference. It's just 28 short days away, so if you want to attend, you need to reserve your seat now. Click the banner on the sidebar for more information.
Hi, I'm Mara Glazer and welcome to No BS Live TV. This is the place for prosperity without the bull. On today's show, we've got an interview with Dan Kennedy where he talks about...
Chris, what are you doing?
I was just getting the show started.
But you just said that you're Mara Glazer. I'm Mara Glazer. You're not Mara Glazer.
April Fools.
Let's start the show. Hello and welcome to No BS Live TV, the place for prosperity without the bull. I'm your real host for today, Mara Glazer. That Chris is always trying to pull a fast one on me. All right, so on today's show, Bill Glazer sits down with Dan Kennedy to talk about the kinds of people who attend seminars, events, or conferences, and how you can utilize this information when planning your own events. But before we get into the interview, in the spirit of April's Fool's Day, I thought I'd show you some No BS Live TV bloopers that we've been hiding in the No BS vault. So let's roll those clips.
Also, if you want the chance to have your marketing question answered on the Friday edition of No BS Live TV, make sure that you do something that I can't read. Okay, so let's go. I'll do that one in. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of No BS Live TV. I'm Bill Glazer. That sounded weird, didn't it? Okay. And today's question comes from Diamond Luxury member Rob Santa Rosa. Okay. Now, we should do an outtake show, just an outtake show. Today's question comes from Diamond Luxury member Rob Santa Rosa, all the way from Ontario, California. Let's try it one more time, okay? There's always a new way to connect with a group of people or a new finding related.
You should start from the welcome to No BS.
What is a new finding?
There's always a new way to connect with this group of people.
A new finding, new discovery.
Yeah, new discovery.
You want to change the word?
I'll just wing it, right? Just give me a countdown when you're ready.
3.
Well, we're not ready yet. You're not the countdown person.
I was last.
Well, you got, but Zephan is the one that's got to know we're ready, not you.
Well, I'm ready.
Ready when you're ready? You ready?
You gotta give the countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
So, isn't that awesome? Now, to find out more about Video Bookends, all you have to do is visit the link that's on the screen right now.
You look weird when you say the word awesome.
Oh. Hey there. On today's show, we're going to introduce you to a great new resource that can turn any video into an that's hard to say, Emmy-worthy. Think that's easy to say that, Chris?
Emmy-worthy web.
You read these out loud, Chris, before you write them?
This one somebody else wrote.
Oh.
I wrote it.
Ready?
The next strategy I learned from Coach Dab Misak, I called her Dab. That's not her name. The next strategy I learned from Coach Dab Misak, I called her Dab again. All right, and on with the giveaway. What if I told you that, I have the giggles. All right, on with the giveaway.
Today's episode is brought to you by the 2011 Marketing and Money Making Super Conference. It's just 28 short days away, so if you want to attend the event, you need to reserve your seat now. There's no doubt about it that the ones who work on their education are the most successful entrepreneurs, and live events are the easiest way to get an education in a condensed period of time. So that's why this event is so crucial for all the entrepreneurs and all the small business owners out there. So reserve your seat now. Like I said, the event is only 28 days away. So click the sidebar on this page for more information and come to the event, get your butt in the chair, and we'll see you there.
Bill's going to kill me when he finds out that we showed all of these. So now it's time for that interview I was telling you about with Dan Kennedy. Get your pens and papers ready because you're going to want to take notes.
Well, hi everybody. People keep telling us, give us more Dan Kennedy, so we're bringing you more Dan Kennedy. Pulled out Dan at our recent Info Summit to do some recordings for the No BS Live TV show, which actually brings me to what I want to ask you about, which is we're at right now one of our national events, and a room full of people, sells out year after year after year, this event and our super conference as well. And what we have noticed is that the kind of people that come to these events, in many cases, have characteristics different from other folks. So I want to talk to you about that a little bit, is the kind of people that will actually, and I don't want to bias your answer, so I'm going to be careful how I say it, but what are the kinds of people that come to events like Laser Kennedy events or other events where they come for information?
Well, as you very well know, it's not everybody fits the same pigeonhole, right? To a great degree, I suppose what surprises a lot of first-timers or general public about folks who come is how high of caliber many of them are. So in many cases, it's extremely successful people who do not need to be there. It's not like they need a life raft to save a business. It's not. They're already extremely successful, and are looking for a slight edge, are looking for something that can turn the screw even just a little bit, because of course the bigger the income, the bigger the business, the more valuable even the tiniest turn of the screw is. And so they are what I call practitioners of the slight edge. Right. There's also the serious student. I tell this story when I was at another client's event. We had Trump as a speaker. We had Ivanka, as you know, but they had Donald. And so backstage in the green room, Trump asked me 3 questions. And the first question had to do with how the money worked, because he was fascinated with how everybody was getting paid, which makes sense. The second question is, what are you reading? And so I'll take it as flattery that he chose to ask me the question, but it tells you something about Trump, because he thinks, gee, maybe something's getting away from me that I don't know about, that this guy knows about, and maybe there's something that I ought to be investigating. So these people are serious students, lifelong serious students, seekers of information. They're enthusiastic about ideas. So that kind of person. I think also we attract a fair number of people who are in the figuring it out stage. They've got their business to a certain point. They're making a living, but they know there's a better way. They're doing too much manual labor, they're not using media effectively, and they've been attracted for that reason, in search of the better way. I think last is the person who has been operating in isolation for some period of time and making some progress, but this is an opportunity for them to come and realize they're not, the only blue fish in the aquarium, and that there are people like them, and to form friendships and alliances and bonds. So I think those are the things that draw people here.
Yeah, and we put on several events a year at Laser Kennedy, and of course the 2 big ones are the Super Conference and the Info Summit. And I will tell you, of everything that I do at Laser Kennedy, it's probably the most humbling thing that I actually do. I don't know if you have the same reaction or not, but just coming here, because we get a chance to meet our members who we never would see otherwise. And they walk up and they say, hey, Bill, I just want to let you know, you don't know who I am. I just want to let you know, I've applied what you've been teaching at Laser Kennedy, and it's made all the difference in the world in my business. So, I like putting on the events because I like seeing and hearing those folks as well. And I'm not saying that to pat ourselves on the back, but it is kind of like humbling to see how many people we actually can.
Well, we showcase them in the contests and presentations,
yeah, sure,
and so forth. But you're absolutely right. I mean, there are people who we don't know at all who come and have great success stories about their businesses and have really used everything they've found through us and turned very ordinary businesses in ordinary business categories. Sun tanning place, hair salon, pizza joint, all the way to more sophisticated, I suppose, businesses, cosmetic dentistry, law practice, and have turned them into really extraordinary businesses.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that, and listen, school is definitely never out for the student or the teacher, to be honest with you. I think we both, we both constantly work on our own education throughout, and people that do constantly work on their education are the ones that I find that are the most successful people. And probably coming to a live event is the easiest way to get an education in a condensed period of time, as opposed to long course and all this other stuff. 2 days, 3 days, you can really grasp a lot of information. I'm amazed by it.
Well, it gets people out of the distraction of day-to-day, so if you're listening to a CD in the car, wherever you were when you got in the car and whenever you are when you get out of the car is pulling at your attention and is really a distraction to the information you're getting during the 20-minute drive. You put yourself in a place for 3 days with a group of people all totally dedicated to the information and the ideas, and you lock out the rest of it. It's a totally different kind of approach to acquiring information.
Well, listen, thanks, Dan. I mean, what better place to talk about seminars and working on your education than being at one of our seminars where we're helping people work on their education. So thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining me. That's all for today's show. And don't forget to check the sidebar for this week's free gift for watching. And stick around for a preview of Tuesday's new episode. I'm Mara Glazer, and this is No BS Live TV. Happy April Fool's Day.
On today's episode, we're going to keep things short. We've got a great marketing example that brings a part of Hawaii right here to the set of No BS Live TV in Baltimore, Maryland.